Ladies and gentlemen of the Fragrance Fraternity, how are we doing out there? Hope everyone is feeling good today and smelling fantastic. Welcome back to another live stream. Didn't give you much notice, but that's kind of my style, very impulsive. So here we are. We'll see who comes through. I got some affordable fall fragrances we can talk about. I got my nose on some new fragrances today. Exciting. I know we can talk about that, give you my first impressions, and hear what you guys think about them too. So, without further ado, the scent of the day, gotta address that, was Desora Oasis Mist. A very random fragrance, one you're probably not going to hear many people talk about at all. Kind of a hidden gem. So, I heard about this one from Dedrick Hicks Jr. He had a live stream, him, Ross, and Tazo basically giving each other a bunch of decants that they were trying out. This was one of the ones that was sent over, and they all seemed to like it. Said it was really versatile, kind of fresh, fruity, could be used in a lot of situations. Sounded like everything that works and everything that I enjoy in a fragrance with the whole living in California type thing and what I use fragrances for. So ended up getting a bottle, blind bought, gambled, but it worked out. It's really nice. Pineapple, apple, fruity, fresh, great performance. I think it's like $90 for 100 ml, but they definitely didn't cheap out on the quality. The quality's there. It has a nice sparkle effervescence, something you could wear to work, and I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy it. A unique take on a fruity, fresh fragrance, and mainly pineapple in the opening that gives it a really nice, zesty pop. And then as it dries down, more so apple becomes the prominent note, but really unisex, doesn't really lean one way or the other. But yeah, something that I just found myself coming back to all the time, just a really high quality, fresh, fruity fragrance, basically, that not many people wear or know about. Desora Oasis Mist. So that was the scent of the day. Let me get caught up in the chat, and then I'll start telling you guys some about some of these fragrances I'm really excited to tell you guys about. Got some heat coming your way, so be ready. What's up, Kevin? First in the chat. Good evening from Lakeland, Florida. I'm not sure exactly where Lakeland is, but hopefully it's not in the part that's kind of getting thrashed right now with the hurricane and all that. So hopefully you're safe. Hopefully everyone in your family and your friends are safe. And hopefully, God willing, all those people who live in that area, it doesn't cause any damage and everyone's all right. So praying for that, definitely. Patrick's life, what's up, my man? He caught the memo. I threw him some disinformation. We were talking on Instagram. I told him that we were going to be doing this live stream tomorrow, but he got the memo. Obviously, he's a smart dude, and he was able to make it. Wearing Suspiro Vibrato, smelling quite nice, I might add. Quite nice. Great choice, dude. One of the best, basically, grapefruit ginger fragrances out there in the game. Oof, just a banger. Really nice choice, Patrick. I love that one. Monier, what's up, man? Welcome to the chat. Nice to have you here. Let us know your scent of the day. Alicia is here. Hello. Greeting, everyone. Hello, Alicia. Thank you for joining, and welcome. If this is your first live stream here with me, welcome, and thanks for being here. Smooth Operator, what's going on, my man? Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Still waiting on the storm, dude. Prayers are up to you and your friends and your family. Hope everyone is safe and it doesn't really damage anything. And yeah, it's crazy. I don't know about all that in California. Never experienced that, thank God. But I can only imagine that's kind of a scary thing going on over there. So really hoping for the best. Yeah, definitely. Mont Blanc Individual. That's what I'm talking about, Vance. That's what I like to see. There's too much hate on it, but it is so good. It still works. I love to see it. Great for the fall time too. A nice raspberry note. You get that dry sheet freshness like Jeremy, pretty much told everybody, but he nailed it with that description. And really, that was my signature scent for a while. Nice choice, Vance. Nice to see it. Thanks for being here. Dossier Fruity Honey. Okay, Joe Malone clone. Have not dove into the Joe Malone game quite enough, but I do hear good things. But Greg, it is a pleasure to have you. Greg is a big time supporter, and I always love to see when he's coming around and showing me some love. So I really appreciate that, Greg. Hope you're doing well today. I don't know what that fragrance smells like, but just from the name, I assume it's pretty damn good. And knowing your taste, you're smelling on point. Nice to see you. Let's see what is going down with Patrick. You got samples of Eros Energy, Super Leggera, Eau de Ombre Leather, and Ralph's Club EDT. Yep. So I definitely tried some of those. Let me go through some of these, and then we'll come back to those, and I'll tell you my thoughts about them. Ellie Saab, no number oud. Okay, I have no idea. Let us know. You're always coming in here with like some nice hidden gems. I really like that. You're not wearing what most people are like talking about or know about. It's always something a little bit more intricate. So I appreciate that. Let us know what you think about that one, what's going on with it. All right. So first fragrance that I got to tell you guys about was this Calvin Klein's Defy Parfum. Have you guys tried this fragrance? So I tried this fragrance when it first came out at Macy's, and I was not going to pay retail for it, but I did like it right away. Chocolatey, pink pepper. Those are the two main things. It's got a really modern smell. So here's the deal with this fragrance. So if you're a person that likes versatile blue fragrances, if you enjoy fragrances like Y, Le Parfum, something like The Most Wanted, something like Ralph's Club Parfum, blue fragrances that have a lot of versatility and like this modern amberwood type of appeal to them, you're gonna love CK Defy Parfum. And for $40 that I found this at Marshall's, it's a steal, guys. The performance is ridiculously good. I'm a big fan of it. I really like it. I think for $40, this is really rivaling Dylan Blue as far as being, one of the best affordable blue fragrances. So I mean, you get great longevity here. You get like a nice chocolatey nature to it. And yeah, it's kind of in that like Wiley Parfum style, but more chocolatey. And if you're familiar with the Defy line at all, it still has kind of that dustiness, some like that smokiness of the DNA. It's kind of like a dusty blue. The EDP was really leathery and wasn't like the highest quality leather that I've ever smelled. So it wasn't really my favorite thing in the world, especially more towards the dry down. I thought the opening was pretty good. Then the EDT of Defy is really just another Y EDT type take. This one kind of goes its own direction while also still smelling like a lot of things. It's going to remind you of a lot of things out there. It's going to remind you of Gucci Guilty. It's going to remind you of Why I Sell Myself. A lot of those modern blue fragrances. So if you're kind of over that and you don't want something, you're sick of that, and that's not for you. But if you're a person that just enjoys that style of fragrance and you don't mind twists and turns on that nuance and different style of that, you might want to check out Defy Parfum. I think you're going to be really happy, especially if you can get 100 ml for $40 from Marshall's. Doesn't smell cheap. It's right up there with my favorite Calvin Klein I ever tried. It's like, yeah, I think it is. I think it is my favorite Calvin Klein I've ever tried so far. So I really like it. What can I say? I'm pretty much the only one that's talked about that one, I think. Yeah, Vance, you saw that's what I'm saying, man. It was a deal. All right, and then let's talk about this one for a second. So this is Ferragamo's Bright Leather. You've never smelled a leather fragrance like this before. This really is a bright, fresh leather, and it's perfect for the office. It's really gentlemanly. This smells way more expensive than what it costs. I'm really stoked that I was able to pick up this 30 ml because really that's all that I need these days, if I can even use the word need, want to be more precise. And lately I've noticed I like these 30 mLs because I like to take fragrances with me. Now I pretty much always have one on me, or I try to. So I like the size that you can just throw in your pocket, keep it on you if you want to refresh at any point. But anyway, getting back to this, it's got a really nice green touch to it. Green, watery, like fresh, aromatic. Also, you get the leather, but it's not like a couch leather. It's not like a new car leather either. It's just a really easygoing type of bright, fresh leather. I mean, it almost you might not even think leather the first time that you smell it. Really, I didn't really get leather until it dried down a little bit more. Then okay, I got a little bit of the leather, but it doesn't poke out. It's just well blended and a really green, watery, bright, aromatic, professional fragrance that smells really good for the price. Can't say enough good things about Bright Leather. One of my favorite leather fragrances, and just so different than what you would think in your mind a leather fragrance smells like. So I really appreciate that one. And we'll do one more and then I'll get back to the chat. Let's talk about Gary's Den Le Parfum. Guys, if you like that waxy, powdery iris, like those heavy iris fragrances like that, Dior Homme Parfum, which is what this is inspired by. Blue Noir Parfum, you know, these really powdery, thick kind of iris makeup bag-ish smelling fragrances. Dude, look no farther than this. It's nice with the prominent woodiness that I really love about this one. Performance is legit. Quality is very legit. I did not have high expectations from this brand because this is, you know, Fragrance By's brand. So immediately in my mind, I'm like, all right, this is a cash grab. But, you know, for whatever reason, that day when I bought this, I went for it. Don't know why, but gambled. And dude, it's really good. It's so solid, but you have to like that scent profile. So don't just go into this because that's kind of a more divisive scent profile. Not everyone's into that. I love that, especially as the temperature cools down. Man, so stunning. Gary's Den, Le Parfum. All right, let's get caught up in the chat. It is my day off, so I am sipping on a little of this Topo Chico strawberry guava. Pretty freaking fire, if you ask me. L'Haim. All right, where the heck was I? You know how I get lost in this chat. All right, cool. Right here. That's where I was. Not that many new comments. All right. Defy is like a darker take on a blue fragrance, so I take it. Do you think it's similar to KEDP? I've only tried one of the Ks, and I'm not the biggest fan of the K DNA because I know it's super juniper heavy, and it's similar to a Rojas Loam. That one, don't dig that one. So not a fan of that style of blue fragrance, I guess, where it's super juniper heavy. But no, this one is okay. This is more what it smells like. If you took CH Bad Boy, the Eau de Toilette, if you ever smelled that one, and you kind of mixed it with a little Wiele Parfum and you threw a lot of pink pepper like sweetness to it, like the pink pepper instead of apple. If you took the apple out of the Y DNA and you put pink pepper in and you mix that with Bad Boy Eau de Toilette, that's what CK Defy Parfum smells like. Wrong way. That's what CK Defy Parfum smells like. Most similar to like Bad Boy Eau de Toilette because it is chocolatey. It's got that cacao base. If you look at the notes, it's just like cacao in the base. Stan is here. What's up, my man? Thanks for being here. Welcome to the one, the only, the Fragrance Fraternity, where we douse ourselves with fragrance, and we also occasionally drink Topo Chicos on our days off. So this one's for you. All right. Let know what you're wearing, dude. Gian, what's up, my guy? God, I'm like slurring my words already. Take a few sips of alcohol. What a rookie. Prada Luna Rosa Carbon, dude. You cannot go wrong with that. I got a 5-ounce bottle and I'm like almost halfway through. I love wearing it to work. It's so like easy, and you know it always is going to work for you if you're going to work or something, and can't go wrong with it. Great choice, dude. Great choice. Vance, you've tried Bright Leather. I agree. Ferragamo Bright Leather. I need to wear it soon. I'm sure spicy, and then other ones in the line are good. Also classy on Ferragamo fragrances. Yeah, I kind of want to try the other ones in the line too. I know they have red leather, and I don't know the other names, but this one really improved me. This one makes me want to try the other ones. It's gonna be a long stream if I keep drinking, but hey, I think that'll make it more fun too. I was like, I watched a little bit of my last stream and like the most I could tolerate before I started cringing. And I was like, you know, I just need to loosen up a little bit. I'm too like tense. It's just fragrance. It's not that freaking serious. Just chill, bro. That's what I was thinking anyway. Son of the day S-Boy. Okay, great. I hope you got a good deal on it. I hope you're kidding too. I bet you are. Yeah, I mean, why not? I don't really drink that often, man. I felt like I needed to loosen up this time around. So I was like, you know, I'm just going to drink a little bit and then I'll take the edge off a little bit. All right, let's keep it going with these affordable bangers that you need to know about. And then we'll talk about some new stuff. Guys, Burberry London. It's a classic. I love this fragrance. I got a buddy who, you know, I've just kind of been slowly getting into the scent game a little bit. You know, he's not super into it, but I've thrown him a couple fragrances here and there. This is one of them. He absolutely loves it. And he pulled it out the other day. We were hanging out at the gym, and I had Dylan Blue. He had this. And I was like, you know what? I need to wear that. I haven't worn it in a while. That is such a good fragrance. He's like, yeah, dude, I love it. My wife loves it. People give me compliments. And I kind of miss those days, you know, where we only have one or two fragrances and you just kind of stick to those. But, you know, I'm not going to complain that I have a great collection, you know. So don't want to be a spoiled brat over here. I'm surprised Vince isn't here. You know, he'd call me bougie. You know, that would be like the perfect time for him to chime in. But anyway, Burberry London. It's port wine. It's got this a lot of spice going on here. It's a nice entry level tobacco as well. Definitely in the fresh, spicy category of things. Um, it reminds a lot of people and myself as well of the holiday times, but I don't really think that this is strictly a winter fragrance. This is certainly capable of being a fall fragrance. You can wear this in the daytime, you can wear this at night. I've even This is crazy, but a while ago I even wore this to the gym before and it wasn't awful. You know, it has a decent amount of freshness. I think it's another really good office fragrance. The performance is average, but again, it's masculine and it's the type of fragrance that if you wear this, it's gonna have a nice little sillage of 1 to 2 feet. It's not gonna go and choke people out from 20 feet away. You know, it's not Jasad Ambassador. It's not Sauvage where it's just occupying whatever area you happen to be in. It's a very personal kind of bubble. It's cozy. It's warm. It's masculine, and it will put you, at least for me, in a positive frame of mind. I really like the way that this one makes me feel, which is what it's ultimately about at the end of the day. So Burberry London, my favorite Burberry fragrance. I haven't tried them all, but at this moment, from what I've tried, still my favorite from Burberry. So that's Burberry London. Got a lot of love for that one, and uh, we'll do this one next. We'll do one more. All right. Versace Eros Flame. I saw Ross actually talked about this one as well today, and I didn't initially remember to bring this one into my. I'm kind of building a designer list and a cheapie list for fall, working on some new videos or whatever. So these fragrances are floating around here on my desk, and definitely didn't want to forget to include this one. Really great fragrance, especially you can get this. I was looking before the stream started. You can get 100 ml for under $60. That's a great deal. The new Energy came out. I just tried that one, so we're going to talk about that in just a second. But this is still great. You get a really woody fragrance at the core of things, but you get a really nice orange note up top. You get this. What is it? It's got a funny name. Chotino something. Oh man, I'm blanking on the name. It's a CH something. It's a really fruity type of top note. Someone put in the chat if you remember, but Chinoto, there it is. All right. Chinoto, that's what it was. I just remembered. Yeah. So that's also a kind of a unique fruit, but it's a really orange citrusy top, and then just dries down into really woody, long lasting, and also you get some of the like slight remnants of the Eros DNA, but it doesn't really smell like Eros, but you do get some slight remnants of that tonka bean DNA, just the perfect amount, a great blend. And yeah, just so good from Versace. I know Patrick doesn't love the dry down, but to each their own, right? Okay. See, Burberry London seems to have gotten you guys fired up a little bit. Let's see. London for the fall. Yeah, and I think it is a perfect fall fragrance, especially if you're just going to categorize it. I think people have just become associating it with the winter and like the holiday time so much because of those spices and because of maybe like the cinnamon that it has. So it's kind of been pushed into that winter category. But yeah, as far as the amount of warmth it has and the freshness category, it's definitely a fall stunner. Yeah, Christmas in a bottle. See, that's the kind of association with that fragrance, which is great because that's a really makes you it's usually a positive time of year for most people, hopefully. London on my list next, honestly. And thankfully it's pretty active in as far as me seeing it pop up at Ross and stuff. They seem to always have it. So whenever the time is right for you, I think you're gonna really enjoy it. Let Burberry off house. That's right. Let Burberry off house arrest only for the holidays. They do have some other good fragrances. I mean, there's a big group of people that wore Burberry Touch for many years growing up and stuff. Um, that was kind of before my time, so yeah, that wasn't one of those people. Long story short, but Touch isn't my necessarily favorite, but I do have respect for it for that. For that, Burberry Weekend is actually pretty nice, but it just doesn't last very long. It's kind of like a citrusy green type fragrance, but its performance is so bad. They have a couple other ones too. Burberry Brit is okay. It's a rose cardamom fragrance. So if you're really into rose and cardamom and you want kind of like a spicy twist on Burberry London, a more like rose forward twist on it in a way, and a little warmer, you could try that. But yeah, London is still the number one for me. I like the lemon hen opening that Eros Energy has. Yeah, might as well talk about it since. Well, let's see. Let's get to the bottom of the chat, and then we can talk about some of these new ones that I smelled, and then we'll go back and forth. We had some new people pop in, so that's good to see. I'm seeing some familiar names at the bottom of the chat here. You guys digging that Eros Flame? Yes. People can say Versace Eros is dated or overdone, but it still pulls compliments. Women love it, especially the EDP. Women love it. I love it. And the most important thing is that you love it. That's what it's all about. And you're getting some enjoyment out of it, right? Cliff, what is going on, my guy? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well as well. If you're wearing anything, let us know what your scent of the day is. Joel, it is all good. I appreciate you stopping by for a second. And the door is always open for you, my guy. You know that. I appreciate you, Joel. I appreciate you. All right. So let's talk about Eros Energy, shall we? Yeah, I tried it. And this is just the first impressions. You know, some of you own the bottle. You'll probably know way more than me. But here's what I thought. Definitely lemon heads, like yeah, those little lemon drop candies. That was the opening 100%. And that just dominated over any sort of Aventus tie-in, just complete domination. But you know, I was surprised because it wasn't a lemon cleaner synthetic, super synthetic lemon smell. It was one of the better lemon openings I've smelled. Really, I was really impressed because lemon in the opening is such a tricky note because you are so close between having a beautiful, bright, citrusy lemon to this smells like lemon cleaner, and I don't like this. You know, a lot of people associate that prominent lemon with lemon cleaner and Lysol lemon wipes. So you have to really make sure that it's a great blend, first of all, and you know you're using good quality ingredients, which they did. I really dialed into that in the opening. I was like, all right, I smell this as a lemon bomb, and it reminds me of those, you know, hard yellow candies, lemon heads, I think. But is this super synthetic lemon cleaner, or is this legit like quality lemon bright freshness? And I was really leaning towards the, all right, this is pretty legit quality. I'm not getting like lemon cleaner vibes at all. Definitely not like I was when I first tried Y Elixir. I was getting all the lemon cleaner smells in that, but not an Eros Energy. So didn't get any Aventus tie-in in the opening. So nothing in the opening, but 30 minutes later, sure enough, yeah, it smelled like Mont Blanc Explorer straight up. Straight up Mont Blanc Explorer. Didn't get all the birch of Aventus and kind of like that smokiness that Aventus had. It was pretty much more like lemon, citrus, clean type of an Aventus DNA. So that's why I kind of say Explorer, because Explorer is a little fruitier on the DNA. But I really liked it. So I mean, but it's not that creative, I guess, or it's not that different than other stuff out there. But it is well done, and I enjoyed the blend. Would I buy it? Yeah, I would, but I'm not in a rush to get it. But of the things that I've smelled that smell like Aventus, it's certainly up there for me. It's one of my favorite takes on the Aventus DNA, no doubt. And that's pretty much all I could get from it from just the first impressions. But yeah, that pretty much summarizes my thoughts on it. Let me know if you guys feel differently. Yeah, exactly. I think it's really close to Explorer, especially after like 30 minutes. That lemon opening is really nice, but it fades and then you're kind of left with Mont Blanc Explorer. I think you'd be better off getting Mancera Lemon Line if you really want a lemon fragrance, and you might just be okay if you already have Explorer. You can maybe even try to layer those two and see how that goes. It probably smells something close. Or Salvatore Ferragamo Oud. Okay, I haven't tried that one, but Ferragamo is really solid with the affordable fragrances. They really do kill it in that price range. I was really close to buying Uomo Signature, but I kind of held off. But I want to try that one. I know I've never heard anybody give that one a bad review. Have you guys tried Uomo Signature? What do you think about it? Do you still wear it? Does anyone know anything about Balenciaga fragrances? I saw Balenciaga Pour Homme. I don't know anything about them. Maybe somebody else does. It's really not a brand that I'm a huge fan of, to be honest, on many different levels, but to each their own. I think energy is closer to Aventus Cologne because lack of that smirky birch note. Aventus Cologne, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I could see that. That's a solid point. That's a solid point for sure. What smells like synthetic Aventus? Dior Homme Sport. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I haven't spent enough time with Dior Homme Sport to really know what the intricacies are of it. I bought Dior Homme 2020, and when I did, I was in an airport. I was in a duty free, and there was Dior Homme 2020 and Dior Homme 2021 Sport right next to it. So I was like, all right, first impressions, real quick. Which one do I like more? Smelled them both. And I was like, okay, Dior Homme 2020 is in my mind a simple fragrance, just woody and kind of like Ice Sweet Super, much more simple. I even kind of got it at the time, but I like it more for whatever reason than Dior Homme Sport. But I think if I came back to Dior Homme Sport and I tried it and I understood it a little bit more, I think the complexity, I would ultimately gravitate toward it more, but I'm really happy with Dior Homme 2020. So I know you didn't ask for a whole backstory, but that's how my brain works. So you got one, whether you wanted it or not, you got it. Lemon Line is great if you want more of that pure tart and juicy lemon accord. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like if you want lemon, and that's the way to go. Yeah. I've almost signature very good. I think you totally like it. Yeah, I think I would too. I'm probably gonna get a bottle of it. I saw it was like 38 from Forever Lux on eBay, so I'll probably scoop it up. I want to experience it. So yeah, shout out to drinking. Cheers, Stan. I'm just finishing this up right now, so and then we're gonna keep it going. It makes the stream a little bit more fun too. It gives me a reason to like stop talking for a minute. Totally just spilled a little bit on the side of my face. That's what happens when you get to the bottom. All right, cool. What's next? Let's talk about this guy. This is Trussardi's Reflesso. Shout out to Ash from Gents Sense. That's the person I learned about this from. This is so cool. This is a great fragrance, guys. When you start amassing so many fragrances, but then you still go back to some of these affordable ones and you genuinely love them, it almost makes you have even a greater appreciation for them. This is the case. So this fragrance has a similarity to La Nuit de l'Homme, but it's a more grown-up version of La Nuit de l'Homme. It is a more gentlemanly, kind of more semi-formal occasion version of La Nuit de l'Homme. And more of an Italian style of perfumery overall. This fragrance smells like it could have come out in the early 2000s, but really it's only maybe 5 or 6 years old. So it has kind of a throwback style, but it's still relatively new in terms of things, which is really interesting. If you enjoy La Nuit de l'Homme, I think you're going to really like this. Surprising fact is there's no cardamom in here. So it's really like the lavender and the spices that give that similarity. But you can think of this as like La Nuit de l'Homme's dad, or La Nuit de l'Homme grown up type of thing. Pretty good performance. This is one that is certainly masculine. Uh, I keep a 10 ml of it in my backpack when I go to work, and I find myself just hitting sprays of that 10 ml, and every time it just kind of like catches me off guard. Like, wow, that is so good. I can't, like that is so shockingly good. I don't know if I like it more than La Nuit de l'Homme or not. Probably not, but if you want a little bit more of a mature take and you like La Nuit de l'Homme, I think you're gonna absolutely love Trussardi Reflesso. It's certainly a kind of more gentlemanly, more classy version on a similar DNA. So from a brand that's been around for a really long time, if you look into Trussardi's history, they've been doing this for a minute. And good quality, good price. Love it. Think you guys will too, especially if you're into that sort of sexy DNA spicy type of situation. Paperboy Chris, what's up, man? Are you enjoying your happy hour beverage as well? Let us know if you're wearing anything, what your scent of the day is. Stan, where is my guy Vince at? Do you have his number? Text him. Tell him to get on over here so we can chop it up. All right, let's see what's next. Let's go with this one. Legend Night. How do you guys feel about Legend Night? You could also go with the EDP. EDP is great, but don't sleep on Legend Night. You get a little bit of that fierce DNA, but it's really more about the cardamom and the vanilla. Kind of in the same realm as this, but more vanilla here. This is more evening time appropriate. And this is definitely more of a younger person scent than something like this. This has got a bit of a more maturity to it, but in the same realm, could be used for the same things, basically. Kind of depends on where you're at in your journey. If you're really further along in your journey and you're diving into niche now and you got over 100 bottles, this fragrance may be one that you could skip and you'd be all right with. But if you're just kind of getting started and you're exploring different scent profiles and you want to grab something that's good for evening time situations, good for the fall specifically, Legend Night is really mass appealing. Also, has got a bit of sweetness, has a bit of that fierce DNA, and a nice vanilla cardamom combination. Pretty solid. You can get it for a good price. I put a good dent in it, as you can see. Hopefully, you can see that. There's a good dent in there. So the dent doesn't lie. We'll leave it at that. All right, let's get caught up. Saudi Reflesso is a hidden gem. Cliff gets it. I spray a little heavy and it performs great. Yeah, that's one that you should definitely go a little hard on the trigger with and hit your close, but you're gonna love it. It's really great. Yeah, compliments. It puts you in like this gentlemanly, masculine kind of mindset. Just the perfect. I love it as a work fragrance. I love wearing it to work, at work. I think it's a great work fragrance for someone 25 and up. Drink of the night for me is Lipton green tea. That's a healthier option than what I've chosen, but I think I have a couple hours on you, so I can maybe get my Lipton green tea in as well a little bit later. He's hanging out with some Latinos, some thick Latinos. Yeah. Latinas, excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, no judgment, man. It's whatever, life is his oyster. So he's just out here. He's in retirement, flying around to fancy hotels, buying 100 fragrances a week. I don't want to say too much. He's not even here to defend himself. So I don't, I'll stop there. Yeah. Yeah. It's Stan really with the obsession. Joel's calling him out. Best supers fragrance. I have no idea. I've never tried any of those supers fragrances. There's just certain brands. It's like, I don't know where these brands come from. I've never seen them anywhere. And then all of a sudden, some people are talking about them. And that's just kind of one of those brands. It's like, I've heard about, Supers Budapest. I've heard that mentioned, but there's so many fragrances out there that when there's just these random brands that get thrown at you, they don't always interest me. So it's got to be something that interests me. But yeah, I'm sorry I can't be more helpful. But yeah, I've just never tried any from Supers. Then said something about taking up to the woods. Whoa there. Whoa, Stan. Reel it in, buddy. Reel it in. I don't know about all that. All right. Let's get back to the fragrances. Stan's getting wild over here. Atimo. I've talked about this one a couple times. Fresh, spicy, kind of like Armani Code. It's got a similar style to it. It's got a little bit of this licorice vibe too. Speaking of licorice vibe, Joel, I know that since you're watching, let me know if you're enjoying Black Candy from Mancera. That's like a hidden gem, and it's got this licorice note. And I wonder, Joel, have you tried this? Is the licorice similar? Do they come off similar? I've kind of been wondering that. Let me know if you're still here. But anyway, getting back to this, another fresh, spicy one. Armani Code similarity to this, but you can get it for a really good price. And this atomizer is really good. I actually haven't worn a fragrance tonight, and I think, look at that. It's crazy, guys. This one doesn't come around as often, but it's still really, really good if you see it out. I'm actually going to wear this one right now because I'm not throwing on a fragrance tonight, and I love this one. I just crave it from time to time. If you guys see this one out there, you're going to love it. If you have similar taste to mine, if you trust me at all with this little hobby that we're into, check out Atimo. I dig it. I don't know any other fragrances I was going to tell you about. I was going to talk about Ultra Red, but Vince kind of put me onto that one, so I was hoping he'd be here when I talked about it. We could talk about this one. Have you guys tried this one? Yop Homme, the Le Parfum. The Le Parfum. So it's a really nice iris. It does have some similarity to the Stronger With You DNA a little bit, kind of mixed with that Yop DNA. You still get the Yop DNA, but it's a more modernized, cleaned up version of it. It's not as medicinal smelling. It's not as like raspberry cough syrupy. So it's cleaned up in that way. Definitely one you want to save for the cooler weather, but great performance here. And I really like that you can see the liquid. As this dries down, the Yop DNA does come out more, so you got to be cool with that. But for the price, I think it's like under $35 you can get this. And if you like iris, if you like sweeter fragrances in the cooler weather, it's a solid cheapie. Yop Homme, the Le Parfum, though. It's really important that you get the Le Parfum because the original is like, this is way better than the original. It's a more updated, overall higher quality version that isn't gonna absolutely assault people, or it'll assault them in a good way, in a way that they'll actually enjoy what they're smelling versus like thinking you're smelling like cough syrup or something. Armani Code is always good. Ooh, yeah, I'm smelling this Atimo in the air, guys. This is good, man. Decent performance too. Best almond fragrance. That's a good question. So I'm not familiar with that many. That's pretty specific note, but one that comes to mind immediately would be Parfums de Marly Pegasus. Pegasus is got a very prominent almond type note. It also has a very prominent vanilla and heliotrope. A lot of the Parfums de Marly's kind of have this heliotrope note to them. So definitely one that I would suggest that you sample and also wear on your body. Because I bought a bottle of Pegasus, wore it for a while, and then I just decided like I'd rather get something else and just kind of sell it off. So certainly one you want to wear. It is kind of a heavier wear, and it is pretty unique, but you do get the almond, which is really nice and combines beautifully with the vanilla. It's a really great fragrance. I just didn't enjoy wearing it, but I still think it's awesome, and I think you should try it because I like to smell it off others more so than I like to wear it, kind of thing. But I think it's great. So Parfums de Marly Pegasus, and you can also try Pegasus Exclusive if you want to be exclusive. You can try that. It's a little bit different take on it. I'm not as familiar, but You look parched. I'm not parched. Maybe another round. I didn't. If I do another round, I'm just gonna be taking shots of tequila, and that's not really what I want to be doing here. I got a little bit in here, so I'll just finish that. But yeah, I wasn't not really trying to get excessive tonight. So this is good, man. Not trying to wild out over here, and then just by myself, faded. That'd just be dumb. I don't really like drinking unless I'm out, but that was the perfect amount. Anyway, I got water in here. Actually, you don't know what's in there. That's the jungle juice. Armani is really on their game, updating Aqua de Zone and others. Yeah, they're really updating a lot. I'll agree on that, but it kind of annoys me how they're just renaming everything. And now, like, someone says Armani Code Eau de Parfum, you don't even know what fragrance they're talking about. Are you talking about the Eau de Parfum in the cylindrical bottle? Are you talking about the Eau de Parfum of the new bottle style, which I did try, which is pretty nice, but I still think the Parfum is better personally, but it is really nice. I put it at my number 2 in the whole line. So yeah, and then they got like 4 different Profondos now. They got Profondo EDP, they got Profondo Parfum, they got the OG Profondo, and they've all come out in the last 4 years. It's just kind of getting crazy. And it's like the Parfum is actually Profumo. It's insane. It's nuts. It's really just nuts. I traded Black Candy a while ago. Okay. That's what I was wondering. Thank you for your honesty and sharing that. Yeah. Okay. Because I know, like, at first there was like some interest, and then I didn't hear anything, so I was interested to know. But I'm happy that you were honest about that. At least I appreciate that. That's what I'm trying to say. Seems like a fragrance I enjoyed in the air on others, but personally, not for me. Yeah, it was weird because I liked it, but I was wearing it, and sometimes I liked it, sometimes I didn't. I was trying to like it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just forcing this. It's just like music too. It's like it's either a F yeah or it's an F no. If it's kind of in between, then it's a hell no. So if it's not a hell yeah, then it's a hell no. If it's like in between, sometimes it does take a while for you to get to know a fragrance, but most of the time with a piece of music, piece of art, fragrance, anything, pretty quickly you should be able to gather okay, this is a hell yeah for me. And that's how you really love it. Doesn't want to become Gems Wild. Well, I can't dance like Gems. I'm not as entertaining. So if I just start drinking too much, I'm just gonna start slurring my words, I'm just gonna, defame myself over here. I'm just gonna completely ruin any small, tiny bit of reputation that I may have gathered with you fine people. So just trying to hold on to what dignity I have left, basically. Jason, what's going on, my guy? Guerlain L'Homme Ideal is a great almond fragrance. That's a phenomenal suggestion right there. Haven't tried it, so I'm not gonna say that I have, but I have not tried it. But from what I've heard and gathered, that is an almond fragrance that gets a lot of love. The Eau de Toilette, I believe, has the most almond, if I'm right about that. But good suggestion. Thanks for being here so you could share that info. I think Armani went a little too wild rebranding their entire men's line. They should have spread it out over a few more years. Yeah, I know. Or just call it something else. But it's like you're just going to call it the exact same thing in a different bottle. It's just too much, too fast. It's craziness. Just madness. Madness, I say. Guerlain Ideal is a great almond line. Indeed, I need to get my nose on those. I'm a little behind on that. All right. Last comment here. I like the Parfum. I think the new EDT are saying it's more modernized. Like, well, a lot of people love the old Profumo and hated the change. Yeah, I preferred the old Profumo. I really love the prominence of the incense and the spiciness, and I don't really like that they kind of reeled that back and introduced a little bit more. I think rosemary was the note that was featured more, but they are pretty close. But yeah, old Profumo, in my opinion, was better. Let's talk about some of the other stuff that I tried. So the Tom Ford Eau de Ombre Leather. was my biggest shock because I got that Rafaka, that baby cat clone Rafaka. Didn't like it. Didn't really like it. And I know you guys love your baby cats. So I've never tried baby cat. I'm just going off the clone. So don't come for me. Don't cancel me. But yeah, I didn't dig the clone. But then this Oda Ombre Leather, which was basically Ombre Leather mixed with that baby cat DNA, I was digging. I was really, really digging. So I think of all the Ombre Leathers I've tried, I think it's my favorite. I think it is. I thought that combo was just great. Dialed back the vanilla, which if you know me, you know when there's too much vanilla, I can just be turned off a little bit. So I like a nice blend of the vanilla underneath, not necessarily in the forefront, and the leather, which I'm assuming is saffron because that's what saffron always smells super leathery to me, was mixing with that baby cat ambery vanilla perfectly, and really enjoyed the Tom Ford Oda Ombre Leather. I'm not really one to pay Tom Ford prices for a new fragrance, but maybe down the line one day it'll happen. But thought it was really nice. What else? I'm really late to the game, but Dolce and Gabbana, the one Eau de Parfum, I really enjoyed. I did not like the Eau de Toilette, so I've kind of been avoiding the Eau de Parfum, but I really enjoyed the Eau de Parfum. Tobacco and woods and some spices, and just I could see the performance being a little not great. But I think that's one that I could really get down with, like a 10 ml, so that I could carry it with me and wouldn't cost too much. But I've been really late to the game on that one, so that one impressed me. I have a bottle of Beau de Jour on the way, so I just sprayed a little bit on my hand just to confirm that I didn't waste my money, because I've tried it before, but I just wanted the reassurance today, and I was fully reassured. Holy smokes, guys! I think it's like going to be in my top 10 once I get it. I love it so much. It's a great lavender. It's got this classiness, but it doesn't smell too old manish. When I smell it, I just hear fairies sing and waterfalls splashing, and I'm just in paradise or whatever. When I smell Beau de Jour, it's like a perfect fragrance to me. I don't really rate fragrances, but I'd probably give it a 10. I mean, it just takes me to a different dimension when I smell it. It's really wild. So I really love it. It's a huge love. So I can't wait till that bottle comes in. So I'm really happy to got my nose on that. What else did I try? I tried, what else? I tried the Most Wanted again. I've tried it before, but just got my nose on it again. I think it's nice. I think non-fragrance people are going to love it. Non-fragrance people are going to think it smells really good and modern, and which it does. But I also think it's kind of similar to stuff like this, to Wiley Parfum, to other fragrances that I have. So, and I don't know. I might like this more than the Most Wanted. I might. I don't know the Most Wanted, so I haven't really worn it and then worn this, but I really like this fragrance, and it's kind of in that style. So just keeping that in mind. And then tried some other stuff, but it's not coming to mind right now. You get caught up in the chat, and then I'll think of it. I was lucky to buy a bottle before, but I started to discontinue it. Yeah, I messed up because the day that I got my Profondo, I was pretty much deciding between Profondo and Profumo. I ended up going with Profondo because that was actually the better choice for my life, and I've gotten a lot of use out of my Profondo. I have a big bottle, and I've got only like a third left, so I've sprayed the hell out of it. I use it a lot, and I love it. But now you can't get Profumo, so if I had a crystal ball, I'd probably get the Profumo. So, but whatever, it's all good, man. Though, Acqua di Gio Absolu is the goat. It is the goat. It is so good. It is so good. And that one's sadly discontinued too. That's one of the few fragrances that I would legitimately consider buying a backup bottle of. Acqua di Gio Absolu. Fire. Not a fan of Baby Cat personally, but I'm not a vanilla fragrance kind of guy. Yeah, neither am I. That's kind of why I was shocked that I really enjoyed that Eau de Ombre Leather. But it's all about the blend. It's really all about the blend. If you get the blend right, you can even find fragrances with notes that you thought you don't enjoy, but you do because the blend is just right and the quality is right. There's so many little things. It's such a crazy art that it's really, we take it for granted that we can just go into a store and smell all these fine fragrances that have all been perfumed and bottled in all these ways, because all this takes millions of dollars to do this. It's a very complicated process, and we forget that sometimes and kind of get spoiled. But the shit is crazy. It's crazy the options that we have and the quality. Wait, so you already ordered Boda's Jour? Congrats, you seem to really love that sound. Also, congrats on bottle of 40 knots. Knew that was on your list for a while. Yeah, so I did a focus group, and you get paid in these gift cards. So I had some extra money to spend on stuff. You don't get cash, so you gotta like spend it on something. So of course I'm gonna blow it on fragrances. I mean, what else could I use it on? So yes, bought Boda's Jour and also Gris Charnel. Was able to get both of those for under the 300, and then got some other stuff that was actually more practical for my life with the money that was left over. So, but yeah, those are two fragrances that I know for a fact that I really wanted, that I'm gonna love to wear. So, pulled the trigger on them, and I'm super excited to get them in. And uh, I was blessed by my mom. Thank you, Mom. Love you. With a bottle of 40 knots. And in return, it was her birthday. I bought her a bottle of Creed's Milsim Imperial. And I've been kind of looking at some new sites. And the site that I got it from was, I think it was either Perfume Box or Perfume Spot, one of those two. And they've had some really good prices on Creeds. I saw Original Vetiver on there for under 130, and then Milsim Imperial was like 140, both for 50 ml. So pretty good pricing on the Creeds. So that was good to see. All right, Joel, thanks for stopping in, my guy. Appreciate you being here. Todd, what's going on, my guy? Nice to see you. Missoni Wave, that is a great fragrance. I love that whole scent profile, the whole Chanel L'Homme Sport scent profile. I love it. I think it's the best, like, fresh scent profile for men. I gave it the number one spot in my summer ranking, and Missoni Wave is a great affordable take on it. So yeah, that was basically all the fragrances I had. I have a couple clones hanging out back here in case we ran out of stuff to talk about. But I appreciate everyone who stopped by. I give you guys no notice on these streams, yet you still show up, and there's a little decent crowd. So I appreciate that. Appreciate the support. This is a pretty decent little clone of Creed's Royal Oud, which is a really expensive fragrance. This is called Oud Royal. Kind of want to wear this in more dressed up occasions, but a really solid kind of woody fragrance. Not casual, not super casual. You could wear it to the office, especially if you're maybe in your 40s or above. I think it's got more of a mature type scent profile. Nice little citrus up top, and then the woods just dominate for the rest of the fragrance. In cooler weather, I get decent performance out of this. In the heat, it does evaporate very quickly, but in the cooler fall months, Oud Royal is a nice little affordable twist on the Creed, which is going to run you, over $300. So for like under 40, quality is not bad. It's very wearable. So Oud Royal, and from what I've heard, it gets pretty close to the Creed. And then another one I've kind of been wearing a lot is this Luminous Night Twist, the one and only Moonlit Night. I've been enjoying this one a lot. It has more of a fruitiness to it than the real thing. The real one, this is more of like the dry down of the real one, basically. The real one in the opening is a little bit more complex, and the dates really come out more as it dries. And this one kind of emphasizes more of the dates, but it's a little bit more on the like synthetic side of things as well. But for the price, it's not bad. You get decent performance. I've been enjoying it. It's kind of like a new scent profile that I've discovered. So I've kind of been hooked on this in the evening times. I've been wearing it a lot, really liking it. So the one and only Moonlit Night. My nose is kind of running because I sprayed the hell out of that Atimo. So I'm going to mute from time to time if I have to. I don't know how long we're going to go. We're almost at an hour. And yeah, I'm kind of running out of stuff to talk about. Let me try to think of another fragrance that I smelled today that was new or whatever. Oh, I smelled the Spice Bomb again. I got my nose on it again. It wasn't the first time, but I like it. I really like it. I think it's great. I know Patrick bought it, and then Fragrance by sent him the wrong package, which is weird. I've never had that happen, but unfortunately that happened to him, so he's got to deal with that. Um, but yeah, it's really good, especially under 75 bucks. So the thing though is like I don't really see myself needing more than maybe 1 or 2 leather fragrances max, and I don't really have, like, that one leather fragrance. I mean, this is a fresh leather, but if we're talking, let's get into that leather, like, I wanna smell that leather, that new car smell leather, I want that in the forefront. Um, you know, that's a fragrance where you may wanna spend a little bit more. You wanna go off in that situation, and, there's a fragrance from Juicebox called Night Flow, which is kind of the best leather that I've ever smelled so far. It's got a similarity to Tom Ford's. What's the raspberry leather one? Why do I always blank on this name? It's the raspberry leather one, Tuscan leather, I think. So I think I like that leathery type of scent profile, that Tuscan leather. I want to get my nose on Parfums de Marly Godolphin because I heard that that one is also kind of a take on that. So before I jump into dark leather, I want to kind of get my nose on a couple more leather scent profiles before I find the one that's like really for me. I really like ombre leather eau de parfum, and I think I would take that over. But of course, there's a big price difference between the Tom Ford and the Victor and Rolf. So I got a couple leather fragrances I want to try before I dive into it. But with all that said, I did think it was quite good. Thought it was quite good. Just don't know if it's full bottle worthy for me. Sadly, Fragrance Spice sent me the wrong order. Spice Fallen, Dark Leather, and Travel at the Barbers, and they somehow sent Jacques Foss Vetera Grease. That's so strange. That's like one of those Jacques Foths that I haven't tried, and I've like been amassing them in the last month because they were on discount like so heavily. Yeah, hopefully they hook you up with like some expedited shipping since they messed up. I'm sorry to hear that. That's always annoying, you know. You're looking at the tracking, you're excited, you're gonna get it. Oh, can't wait to wear it tonight. I've had a long day of dealing with work or whatever, and you got the wrong one. Sorry. So sorry about that, man. If you like clones, you should try Mirror Image fragrances. And the thing is, I don't really like clones. There's just certain that I do like, and I know Stan, like you're a little bit newer to the journey and of my channel or whatever, but I am kind of like only trying to stick to stuff that I really, really, really want at this point. I'm not a collector. I'm an enthusiast, I guess. Some people have different approaches. You know, they want to smell as much as they can. And you know, if I had all the money in the world, maybe I would do that. But for what works for my life, I'm more interested in just like acquiring the bottles that I really want. And even now at this point, I'm kind of like trying to just only have the stuff that I can really, really get behind when I recommend to you guys, because I think uh, the longevity of this channel, some of it at least, is going to be in the quality of the recommendations. And if I don't truly, truly believe in every recommendation that I'm making, it's not going to go as well. So I don't want to just be recommending stuff just because I have it. I want to truly feel like confident in everything that I recommend you guys, and I don't feel the need to like try everything out there as well. But um, there are some clones that I kind of gravitate towards, but it doesn't really interest me. If I'm going to spend money on a discovery set, I'd much rather spend money on a discovery set from like a crazy niche brand or whatever that I may never get to try versus like I'm going to try 10 clones from this brand. And no shade in anybody who does it differently. I know a lot of the guys you watch are super heavily into the clone game, and I support them and have a lot of love for them as well. It's just you do what you find fun, and that's just kind of where my head is at with the whole clone thing. But I did actually buy a clone today on that topic. I bought the Alexandria Centaurus because I'm realistically never going to drop 300 plus on a fragrance, but it was really, really good. And I do trust their work at this point. I've tried enough from them, and you get a little bit of a discount. Um, for whatever reason, they said I was going to end the 7th, but it's the 9th. And I was able to get that price, so I got a little 30 mil of that. But my favorite clones are the ones that they're cloning a fragrance that is so ridiculously expensive that I would never buy it. That's why I like this. Like if the real thing of this was 100, even 100, maybe 50 or less, I'd probably buy it. But the cheapest you can get this is like 250, and I'm just not going to pay that when I can pay $30 and get something pretty close. So that's my whole feeling on clones. When they're just the real thing's outrageously priced, like so far out, then I kind of go with the clone. But if it's closer in price range, like especially a lot of the designers, I'm saying usually just get the real thing. Um, but yeah, that's a whole talk for another day. We can talk about that more if you want. Any thoughts on mine, sir? Cosmic Pepper. Yeah, I like Cosmic Pepper a lot. I have it. Let me grab it. We'll talk about it. I was lucky. I pulled it. The first one I pulled was Cosmic Pepper. Nice. Yeah, Cosmic Pepper is great, man. It's also kind of similar to that Chanel L'Or Homme Sport DNA, but the pink pepper is really, really more prominent. It is kind of like a sharper, more like aggressive type fragrance, and that throws some people off of it, which I like. I like those fragrances that kind of like grab you by your nose hairs and like kind of drag you over. This has got that. It's got a little bit of cardamom too in there. As it dries down, it comes out as well more prominently. But yeah, I love this fragrance. You get great performance. You can wear this to work. I've worn this at some gigs like outside. I think this is a great fragrance to wear outside. Not necessarily the most office safe thing. If you wore this to the office, I'd probably spray under the shirt and maybe only go like less than 5 max sprays with this little puppy because it is pretty strong. It does last a long time. But yeah, I really dig it. I don't need more than this 50 ml, and I'm very, very happy with it. I had the option of buying this or kind of repurchasing Chanel L'Or Homme Sport because I was running low on my OG bottle, and I ended up going with this as a twist, and I really like it. I think if you like Missoni Wave and things of that nature, you're gonna like this too. But it does have that pink pepper prominence, which makes it a little different. It does poke out a little bit, that pink pepper. So, but if you're cool with that, if you like pink pepper, you're gonna like it. Small, I love the smell of dark leather. Everything I dislike about the extreme. Yeah, I definitely prefer dark leather over the extreme as well. I got a little hints of the infrared, like the red berries. Did you get that at all? I certainly picked up on that. It was kind of like infrared plus leather. So it's good. Stan, do you have liquid brown? Ugh, people like that fragrance, but I don't. I don't like that at all. Yeah. No, that's like a recent hype beast, and everyone's loving it. It's just not for me. It smells like a forest fire for me. Sorry if I'm ruining it for you guys, but yikes on that one. All the peppery tobacco, masculine edge, and leather gets rid of that annoying vanilla sweetness that Extreme has. I'm right there with you, man. Extreme is probably my least favorite one. Yeah. Actually, no, it's not. Infrared eau de toilette and then night vision eau de toilette are probably on the bottom. And then I'd actually put night vision eau de toilette over extreme. So yeah, but night vision EDP, night vision, EDP, infrared EDP, and dark leather are the top 3 as it stands right now. I haven't tried fresh. I'd love to try fresh, but that thing is long gone. Tuscan leather, yeah. Tuscan leather. I couldn't remember it either the other day. I know it's Tuscan leather, but like I don't know. I'm blank on that for some reason. Already too many similar scents. Yeah. No, it's not a huge clone guy. That's Alexandra. Yeah, I mean, I do like Alexander, and I do like some clones. Like there are some clones that I love. I just don't feel like I need to have all the clones, and I don't want to buy 3 clones. I'd rather buy one niche fragrance than 3 clones type of thing. But there are some clones that I love, and this is another one of them. Since you guys love the clones. Sorry, the nose runs when you're into this hobby. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, Care Pistachio, bomb.com. Does smell pretty close to the real thing. Uh, and I like this one more because it's like not as the florals aren't as featured, so it doesn't have as much of a feminine prominence. I mean, there's nothing masculine about smelling like gelato ice cream. So let's gelato pistachio ice cream. There's nothing masculine about that, but it does rein those florals in and kind of features more of this like tonka bean creaminess, vanilla type smell. Uh, you get the pistachio, you get the ice cream creaminess. Really nice. One of my favorite clones. Probably top three. My top three clones. This, um, the Francique, which I talk about to death, and right now that Le Meteor from Alexandria. I really have been wearing that a lot. It's become one of my favorite blue fragrances, and it's probably because it's lavender heavy. Go figure. Love me some lavender. But we're gonna wrap this thing up here soon. My nose is running, coming down off the buzz. So time to wrap it up. Um, if you guys have any last questions or final statements, critiques, criticisms, analysis, um, you know, any final thoughts, throw them down here now. I need to go blow my nose. And yeah, I don't know. I got some more content coming. Hopefully, you guys like it. And I appreciate you spending some time here at the Fragrance Fraternity. That Atimo set the nose off for sure. Sorry, I sound probably a little nasally. I think my grab it's gonna be the 30s next week, so I need more cold fragrances out. Hell yeah. Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. If you went to Mirror Image Fragrance website, you might be surprised. Yeah, I just don't know anything about them. I don't know, besides the fact that I've seen kind of Vince talk about them a little bit. I don't know anything about them. I don't know where they are, why they're good, what their story is. So educate me, Stan. Let me know, what's good about Mirror Image fragrances? Why do you enjoy them? Why are they worth your money? Tell me more about them. I just don't know anything really about them. Yeah, Cosmic Pepper was too sharp and peppery for my taste. Also, there's like this oak moss lavender in the base that makes it smell more mature. Um, I don't really think mature when I smell this. I think any really age range could wear it. It's not a teenager fragrance. It doesn't smell like fruity and like super sweet, but I think it's pretty wide range to me at least. I don't know. It does smell like Chanel L'Homme Sport with a shitload of pink pepper and a little bit more like cardamom spice and a little bit of black pepper spice. That's basically all I get. Yeah, you sent me a decant of Night Vision EEP. It's excellent. I'm just waiting for it to get colder to bust it out. Yeah. It's one I come back to all the time. It's one of my favorite sweet fragrances. Night Vision EDP. It's like anytime anybody asks me for a clubbing fragrance, that's the one I tell them. I had great success with that and like going out, nightlife type situation. Something a little sweeter. Sorry guys, my nose be running. I gotta wrap this up. Blind Bot Cosmic Pepper got a big bottle for $65. Couldn't pass on the deal. My opinion, Mansera is the best bang for your buck. Even some clone frames these days are higher than Mansera. Yeah, I love Mansera. I think it is great. It is a great bang for your buck. Great blend on the. I mean, I have so many. I have more Mansera, I think, than Mansera and YSL are like the two most I have from because the great value. You said it. Best bang for your buck. Good performance. A lot of different scent profiles. A whole lot of different options. Almost too many. Like you got to really get some decants and try some samples just because they have probably too many options to be honest, but there's something in there for everybody. And especially for $65, that is a excellent deal. Anytime you can get them for under 80, you're killing it, and you're getting a good quality fragrance that's going to last a long time and you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of. So you're spot on with your analysis there, Jason. I echo your sentiment fully. Patrick, thanks, man. I appreciate you stopping by. You have a good night as well. Thick Latinas 2024 for Stan. Peace out. Peace out. Mirror Image Matte will blend your favorite fragrances to create a masterpiece. Okay, interesting. So he does like hybrid type blends. Yeah, I mean, I would just need to know more, like, because there are other brands that do that too. Like there's Dua, you know, there's Making Sense. There's other brands that are doing that. So what is it about Mirror Image that makes, you know, why should I shop in Mirror Image basically? Um, what's their story? Who is Matt? Why should I support him? Type of thing, you know. I need the info. I've been frozen for 30 years, okay? Throw me a freaking bone here. Only at the end will you get my Dr. Evil impressions. All right, folks, I want $1 million or I'm ending this live stream. I'm actually going to probably end it anyway because my nose is running. Your boy's nose is running. All right, folks, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. It's been pretty fun. I hope it's been fun for you. Yeah, that's it. That's all for today. We'll see you next time here at the Fragrance Fraternity. Hope that you wear your fragrances in good health. Hope everybody who is in that Florida area stays safe and is unaffected by what's going on with the weather situation. And I look forward to making some more videos, chatting with you guys, and always discovering new scents here at the Fragrance Fraternity. Have a great rest of your night. Take care. Peace out, everybody.